Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a new video, and today we are doing the long-awaited, long-anticipated, and by long I mean probably about a week at this stage, video for the part 2 MFF New Players 2020 Beginner's Guide, which is a horrible name, super long, I hate it. Oh well, we're gonna go with it. So I was originally gonna do this video and it was gonna be super long, but I was like, after last week's video, this video doesn't need to be super long. So yeah, I'm basically just gonna give you guys each of the tabs in the game. We're gonna go through missions, challenges, arena, and co-op. And I'm basically, from a new player's perspective, I'm gonna rank them from 1 through to however many that are. From most prioritized, you should, like, as in which game would you prioritize the most in that section, to least priority. And so yeah, I'm also going to put up on screen maybe some little infographics and pictures of like some of the best rewards that you can get from each game mode. So yeah, this video is going to be super condensed, nice and easy, still pretty informative, and let you know which gamers you should be focusing on the most as a new player and how you should be utilizing the rewards that you get from those. So yeah. Oh yeah, also if you guys don't follow me on Twitch, you should totally just go follow me on Twitch at just Louis B, first option. Make sure you guys hit that follow button and you guys will be notified every single time that I go live just by clicking this little notification button right here. Thanks. Okay, so first up we have the missions tab. As I said, we're going to try and keep this super clean. So basically, starting off, we're going to go with most important here. We have the Dimension mission. Now, from Dimension mission, you want to do the highest level that you have to offer. And obviously, you know, if you have uniforms, trust me, I'm saying this from a messed up perspective, as in I don't do this enough. You should probably just go through this manually. Don't clear ticket it, go through it on auto, just leave it running. I know that sounds super boring, but it's super important because you guys get missing out on tons of XP and tons of uniform XP if you guys don't do that. Also, you get tokens from from doing damage missions that you can spend in the support shop. 3 characters that I recommend getting are the 3 X-Men, which is Warpath, Bishop, and Angel. Best 3 characters that you guys can get, and obviously once you've got those, make sure you guys build up the roster and get as many of the other characters that you can get from there that help you out. Next up, we have story mode. I'm going to put the infographic on screen for the first clear rewards of story mode. Definitely recommend doing the story and the alternate story mode, but not the ultimate one. You can save that for later on down the line where it is more important. After that, I'm going to recommend the epic quest as far as order goes. I'd say definitely do the X-Men one first to get Wolverine, and then from there you guys can kind of choose which one you do. I'd personally recommend doing Doctor Strange and then Deadpool, and then save the Fantastic Four one and also the newest Guardians of the Galaxy one until a little bit later on down the line, as it is not as important at the beginning of the game. And then finishing off, we have the heroic quest. Not super important. If you're going to get anyone from the heroic quest, I'd say get White Fox first and then get Wave. And in order to get them, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can either buy it twice and hope for the best that you get lucky with gears, or you guys can get it once, save the bios, and use a mega rank up to get the character to 6 stars, and then just use all the bios that you get. I think it's 480, I think. And you can just use those for the gears, which should be more than enough if you're the average player, hopefully. So yeah, again, top 5, Dimension mission, story, epic quest, and then heroic quest. That's the first section done. Okay, so moving on after that, we have the challenge section. Now this is kind of a little bit more PvE competitive content. I'd say the number 1 most important, we're going to go obviously top 5. Most important, we're going to go with Legendary Battle first. Then we're going to go with World Boss, then Shadowland, and then Squad Battle. I say Legendary Battle first because when you first start the game, you get access to a ton of 6-star heroes just from playing through the mission once. I'll put those up on screen as who they are. Super important to play as them, as they help you develop your roster super fast. And then put World Boss because it helps get you the materials that you need to tier 2 characters. And then also I say Shadowland because you want to push to, I think, stage 15 at first. Try it as fast as you can to get yourself, I think it's 225 bios per week. And then a little bit later on down the line, you can be pushing to stage, I believe, 32. So you guys can get yourself the 150 bio selector as well, which nets you, I think, 300 and something bios per week, which is super nice. And I'll obviously put up on screen the first clear rewards for all the Shadowland stages. And then last but not least is Squad Battle. I'd say that's kind of last because even as a pretty old player myself, I don't find this super important to play, mainly because the rewards just aren't that great. It's like for a portion of characters that aren't great in themselves. Like I'd say the only two good awakened characters are Doc Ock and Mystique. That's my preference. I also think Red Skull's pretty fun, but after like they're just not necessary. The only one that's probably good from there is Mystique, but she's Crystal Wall, so she doesn't matter too much. So again, guys, that is Legendary Battle, World Boss, Shadowland, and then Squad Battle. Obviously, infographics are up on screen. Make sure you guys are paying attention to those, as they are super informative and super helpful. Also, guys, I would like to say that I will be probably going in more into depth about World Boss on a separate video itself, probably going into each of the separate World Bosses and just explaining them a little bit more on how to do them, as I think that's probably worth its own video in itself. Same for Shadowland. If you guys want to see me do a Shadowland clear from stage 1 through 35, do let me know, and I will try and get to work on that. But otherwise, make sure you leave a like and subscribe anyway. Okay, so in the arena tab, this for a new player is not super important. I'd say, I know this sounds questionable, but I'd say there's probably the two most important ones here are Alliance Battle and Danger Room, just to get yourself, guys. I think the 600k point rewards in Alliance Battle are pretty important. So if you guys can just be getting yourself to 600k points every day in Alliance Battle, you'll be just increasing, your daily farming by a fair amount. And also Danger Room, because you can get yourself X-Men bios pretty easily from there, and it's a super great way to farm extra bios, which are necessary if you guys want to get characters to level 70 or build up native tier 2s. So as the other two game modes, we have, as you can see, Alliance Tournament, Alliance Conquest, and Timeline. Those aren't super important. Conquest, as of now, has not been reworked and could do with a rework. Timeline Battle, if you really want to play it, make sure you're at least getting into Vibranium so that you can be getting the most amount of crystals. And Alliance Tournament doesn't matter for anyone that is amongst the top, unless you're amongst the top ranked alliances, and as a new player, I don't see that happening. So, joint first, we have Alliance Battle and Danger Room, then we have Timeline, and then Conquest, and then Tournament. Tournament you don't probably end up playing, and Conquest you probably won't end up playing, but yeah, that is that. And then finishing up, we have the co-op section. Let's say the number one most important co-op game mode is co-op play itself, probably because of the amount of gold that you can get. I think I myself probably net around 4 million gold from this a day, and by that what I mean is you want to get as many heroes as you can to level 6. I think I'm pretty sure it's sorry, no, yeah, well, you can get it out to stage 6, but to do that you want to get as many characters as you can to 4-star level 40, so that you can build up your roster and the characters that you are allowed to use. Make sure you have enough to get the complete reward counts. And obviously, if you want to go through it a day, make sure you aren't using. You can do it auto, but I'd say give yourself an extra chance to play your characters. After that, I'd probably say World Boss Invasion is pretty important, as you get these weekly rewards, which are super nice. And as you can see here, these boxes, although basic, nice way of getting a little bit of gold, and hopefully on this one, some extra bios that you guys can get. So yeah, obviously not too important, but hey, every little helps for farming gold. And yeah. After that, we have Giant Boss Raid. Not super important. I'm going to be honest with you guys, as a new player, most older players are probably going to end up kicking you out of their lobbies. That's because they hate seeing lower leveled characters in this game mode. So, I know it sucks, but there's not much you guys can do about this one. So yeah. And as far as World Event goes, honestly, I don't play this. I don't know many people that do play this. I think it's a pretty boring game mode. So if you want to play it, but it's not super important. So yeah, guys, that has been the main part of the game, as in game modes. Obviously, like I said, we're probably going to end up going back into World Boss Ultimate in a separate video, and I already have my Alliance Battle guides up on the channel, which I'm trying to keep on top of. Next up will be the Combat Villain Day, which is going to be showcasing this guy, and we are going to be doing a complete review of him, so stay tuned for that, as the Immortal Hulk absolutely shreds in all game modes. I will tell you that now. And obviously, I'm not ending the video here, because I just want to touch up on a couple extra stuff that I forgot to mention in the first part of the video. So yeah, that's coming up now. Okay guys, so something that I was really annoyed about that I forgot to mention in the first video is actually how custom gear works. I know it's kind of dumb, but it happens. So some key points about custom gear is there are primary stats, secondary stats, and then an effect stat. As far as just extreme obelisk goes, which are the 6-star ones, we will talk about which ones you want to prioritize, but for now just imagine that I'm only talking about 6-star obelisk. The most important stat I'd say to start off with on a character on obelisk is making sure you have guard break immunity as either this stat here or this stat here. If it's the secondary one, it will show up as a green bit of text below this effect stat, but try and make sure you have this. The secondary stat, if you can roll it to be fitting to the character, it is nice. Otherwise, it doesn't matter too much. And then we have the effect. I'd say the two most important effects is where it says here, activation rate, 10% chance when attacking, applied to self, increased damage by X percentage amount for 1 attack for 5 seconds. That is super important. That is what is called a damage proc obelisk. And I cannot stress enough how important that is on characters. Now this can range from 100% to 200%. I would say on 6 stars, you ideally want between 160 and 200. And on 5 stars, you want ideally between 140 and 160. Now, the reason I'm saying on 5 stars and 6 stars, anything below that isn't super important. But the reason why you want to equip these is because they can make a character go from doing not very much damage to doing a fair chunk of damage if you can hit it right. Now, this is what makes a rotation work. Because when you get a damage proc that activates on a certain skill, it allows that skill to do tons more damage than it normally would, which is what functions in the rotation. And a rotation is basically when you have a set order of the skills that you're going to do. Most characters have a rotation. I do go over them in my ABX guides. So yeah, if you guys don't know what that is, make sure to go and check one of those videos. I will leave a card up above. Now, a reason why you want to equip obelisks, yes, is because you want to do more damage, but also it helps drastically in Shadowland. It doesn't have to be a 6-star, it can just be a 5-star too here, but make sure it is either a damage proc or an invincibility obelisk. If you have someone that does tons of damage but doesn't have very much survivability, just stick one that says invincibility on them and they will be fine. However, there are different invincibility stats. The important one is below 50%, and you want to try and get it for either 4 or 5 seconds. That is it. Okay. Other than that, most other obelisks aren't important. And now you might ask, well, what do I do with my other 6-star obelisks? Well, when you get an obelisk to 6 stars, you can see how on this one here, it has a button that says change option. You can use other worse 6-star obelisks to re-roll worse 6-star obelisks. So say you have 2 bad ones, you can use one to re-roll another one and have a chance at getting a better one. So that is an also thing to know. So say if you roll something that has guard break immunity as a primary stat, but has an awful secondary and effect stat, you can use this dreadful one here to re-roll this if it was bad and maybe have a chance of getting a damage proc, which I think is super important that you guys should know. And one last thing that I forgot to mention as well is alliance. It is super important that when you first join the game to try and get yourself into a level 30 alliance, and that is purely for the fact that you get this extra 40% skill cooldown, which is super important. You want this level here, alliance level here, to be at level 30. The store level doesn't matter too much, but the alliance level is crucial, guys. So yeah. Okay guys, so that has been the part 2 of the New Players Beginner's Guide. If you guys want to see part 3, do let me know what you want to see in it. Other than that, I thank you very much for watching. I tried to keep this video a little bit shorter as I know the first one was super long. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitch. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at daily reset time for probably about 2-3 hours. So, you know, it's just a super chill session. We just go through our dailies, we talk about the game, some interesting stuff. You guys can come and ask any questions you want. But other than that, the next video, like I said earlier on, the next video you guys see will hopefully be a character showcase video on Hulk, and will be tied into an ABX guide for Hulk on Combat Villain Day. So until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace.